First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Welcome back to Fox 12 Now, live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. I'm Greg Nibbler. We're here every weekday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And if you're watching live, you've heard me say that a few times, but I say that also because you can watch after the fact on the Fox 12 Oregon app as well. So you can go there and take a look at all of our interviews and segments. Right now, we're talking about something that affects a lot of people and all over the world, around 80,000 or so in Oregon, and I'm talking about Alzheimer's. And there is an informational educational seminar that's coming here. This is a conference actually where you're going to be able to, if you are someone who's maybe taking care of someone with Alzheimer's, maybe you're concerned about yourself, whatever it may be, this is a place to go to get information on how to find resources and so much more. And we want to get into this because we had Chris Schneider from the Alzheimer's Foundation of America who's putting this on, and it'll be on March 18th is when this event is happening. And we spoke to him just about what it's going to be and about their organization and about how this affects so many people. So let's listen to it. Thank you so much for having time to talk to us. And this is obviously such an important issue that touches so many people and families and friends and just really the community as a whole. And I want to talk about this event that's coming up. But before we do, I wouldn't mind if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization as a whole.
Sure. So I'm the Director of Media Relations for the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. We're a national nonprofit organization. We were actually founded by a family caregiver whose name is Bert Brodsky. His mother lived with Alzheimer's disease from about 1980 to about 1992. And at that time, he really felt like he was dealing with it all on his own. And that aside from talking to his mother's physician, there wasn't anywhere to turn. There weren't helplines, there weren't support groups, there weren't educational conferences and programs. And he never wanted any other family to feel like that. So he created the Alzheimer's Foundation of America to be the place where families could turn if Alzheimer's or another type of dementia is in their life. And that's what we're going to be doing as part of our mission on March 18th in Portland at the Free Educational Conference.
And, talking about Alzheimer's and just how much it does affect, he was feeling alone, but he wasn't alone. There's so many people that are going through that. And I think, could you give us just an idea of, how many people really are affected by this? I don't know if there's any kind of stats or anything like that, but just, as a whole, this really is such a pervasive thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. I mean, right now, there's approximately 7 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease. There's about 79,000 in Oregon. The CDC projects that number to more than double in the years ahead. So it's a growing public health crisis nationally and in Oregon as well. And as more and more families are getting affected by this, more and more families are going to need help. And that's, again, why we're coming to Portland on March 18th. But that's also why we do what we do every single day to provide that support, services, and education to families in their time of need.
And when we're talking about that support and education, what are some of the biggest things that people, who have a relative, a family member who are affected by Alzheimer's, that they should know? What are some of the biggest things they should know when they're going into this?
I think one of the biggest things to know is that caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's disease all on your own is impossible, and it's not something that anybody should try. You need help, you need a support team, you need to have backup. And that's, again, where organizations like the Alzheimer's Foundation of America, but also other organizations and community-based services, people need to take advantage of those. A lot of times I think people may be reluctant to ask for help, or they're ashamed, they're embarrassed, but seeking help is not selfish. It's essential. You can't do it all on your own. And whether it's through us or whether it's through another organization or whether it's through a friend, a neighbor, a loved one, get that help and get some support.
I think that's so true for, a lot of times it is difficult to ask for help, or you don't know how to do that, or maybe, they don't have close family or friends that can assist. But it sounds like, with an organization like this, they can have that sense of community and somebody there who will understand, what they're going through and also be able to help guide them. And to that extent, for this March 18th event, can you tell us a little more about this for people out there, what they can expect at this and what they can learn?
So it's a free Alzheimer's and caregiving educational conference. It's taking place, as you mentioned, on March 18th in Portland. You can register for free. It's totally open to everybody. Register for free by visiting alzfdn.org. And there's going to be a number of different sessions throughout the day. Some are going to be focusing on Alzheimer's disease, teaching people how to spot some of the warning signs, what the difference is between basic memory forgetfulness that happens to all of us every now and again and something more pervasive like a dementia-related illness. There's going to be a session to help caregivers learn about communication and different techniques that they can use to communicate with a loved one with Alzheimer's disease so that they can elevate the level of care they provide. There's also going to be a session on advanced planning and planning for long-term care. And again, that's something that can apply to anybody, because getting certain legal documentations in place to make sure that your health wishes, your financial wishes, your legal wishes are all carried out in the way you want in the event that you develop an illness that you may need to have some legal and financial support, whether it's through a power of attorney or on the healthcare side, a healthcare proxy. So it's going to provide all these different opportunities for people to learn about these services, to ask questions, and to connect with one another. And again, just visit alzfdn.org to sign up.
And so March 18th, and where is it at here in Portland?
It's going to be at the University Place Hotel and Conference Center.
Okay, perfect. And again, so, that's so valuable for anybody who's just learning about this or just trying to figure this out, because as you mentioned, just even the things that you just laid out right there, having to navigate that on your own and not knowing what needs to be done, who you need to talk to, where these services are, that could be, tremendously stressful, just to say the least. And I think, for the general public, that we're talking to right now, who may or may not know someone who's affected or may have in whatever way, what do you think is the most important thing people should know just about Alzheimer's and about your organization as a whole that's there for them?
Well, certainly if you have Alzheimer's in your life, or you know somebody who has Alzheimer's in their life, whether they're living with it, whether they're a caregiver, whether they have a family member with it, connect them with us. We're here to help. We have a helpline that's open 7 days a week. It's staffed entirely by licensed social workers who are specifically trained in dementia care. You can reach them by phone at 866-232-8484. You can send a text message to 646-586-5283, or you can visit our website and web chat at alzfdn.org. The web chat and text message features can serve individuals in 90 different languages. And I'd also say, if you don't have Alzheimer's in your life, but you want to learn more about it, and also different lifestyle choices you can take to potentially help reduce your risk of developing dementia, because those do play a role in your dementia risk. The first session at the conference is going to be talking about some of that. So along with talking about the warning signs and the importance of early detection, which again applies to everybody, it's also going to provide information about steps that you can be proactive to take to help reduce your risk of developing dementia. And that's something that everybody should take advantage of.
Absolutely. Yeah, important no matter who you are, and to understand those things. Well, thank you very much, for joining us here to talk about this. And I know you said it a few times, but I just want to reiterate to everybody, where they can go to register, and also just to seek some of that other help and guidance that you have.
Just visit the Alzheimer's Foundation of America's website, alzfdn.org. That's where you can register for the March 18th conference. You can also learn about a host of other different support services and information and education, or you can contact the AFA helpline 7 days a week at 866-232-8484 and speak with one of our licensed social workers.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us and for what you're doing there to help out everybody with this.
Thank you for having me. It was great to be with you.
Really important information there, so pass that along for anybody who may be affected by Alzheimer's. And we do also have an interview on the Fox 12 Now section under our app from Oregon State University, and some researchers there who have some promising things that they've discovered in relation to Alzheimer's and maybe down the road in the future. But we've got plenty more here for you, so thanks for joining us. We are live streaming, so depending on when you're watching, we've got more coming. You'll see a quick break, but if you're watching after the fact, feel free to explore all those other interviews that we have on there. Lots to talk about, lots of conversations, lots to learn about. Thanks for joining. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.